Welcome to challenge number 12. Let's go ahead and get started. So this time we're running the last multiplication for this tier of our tutorials. And so we're going to take a look at multiplying 4 times 7. So again, remember to create unique variable names for 4 and 7. And of course, we're going to use the product variable name when we run the action of num1 times num2, which is 4 times 7. So what does that look like in our pseudocode and our flowchart? Well, it's going to look like this. Now, I'm doing something consistently now as we move forward just to kind of show you how this is going to look like if we do things a little bit differently. So initially from the very beginning moving forward, I've had us write out the display element first, then create our variables, and then run the action item, and then display the output, okay? And so with that, it's easier for me to show how we're going to change things up by writing it in the pseudocode, because over here changing this out may be a little bit difficult. However, we'll give it a try. Meaning that instead of running the display item first, in my code, I can actually, let's see if I can, there I go, create my store elements first. So I can create num1, num2, and product first, then display this, run the action item, and then make that display element first. So earlier you saw that each of these lines of pseudocode matched up with a line here. So as you learn to create flowcharts, match them against your pseudocode. If you change the order of your pseudocode, be sure to change the order of your flowchart so that they're consistent. So with that being said, I'm going to do the same thing over here. So I've got my store elements here, 1, 2, and 3. Let's go ahead and move them first. In this way, my code matches my pseudocode, which of course would match my flowchart. So this way, when we know what we want to write, we could go over here to our code structure. Once you get to the computer, and then let's find out. We want to multiply, we want to store num1, num2, and product 4, 7, and 0 into our code structure. We have num1 as 4, num2 as 7, and product as 0. Now in our code down here, when we wrote it out, we've got product equals num1, num2 after the display element. So I could easily do this. I could go ahead here, after my display elements, go ahead and run that, and that's perfectly okay. Okay, it's not going to disrupt our code. However, I can't produce the print statements until I've actually produced the variable names. So with that being said, we should still get a num1 of 4 multiplied by num2, which is 7. 7 fours are 28, and that should display to our screen. 4 times 7 is 28. So that's really good. I'll see you in the next challenge.